These are 10 of the biggest mistakes that I did when I first started tracking my macros. My name's Fatty Mancy, and I've helped over 500 clients lose weight and keep it off by teaching them how to train efficiently and eat for their goals so they can avoid the same mistakes that I did when I started. Number one is thinking that I can fit just any junk food into my meal plan. I'm a fat kid at heart, so I tried to fit every dessert, every fast food thing, and it just didn't work. It left me frustrated. I stopped tracking macros and I didn't learn again until years down the road. So don't try to track junk food into your meal plan if you're just starting. Number two ties into number one, and that is eating how I used to eat before, and that is just randomly or random foods every 2 hours or fitting in the occasional protein shake. It's not going to help you long term. It's going to be hard to hit your macros, which is going to lead us to number three, and that is not tracking ahead of time. This is the biggest mistake that I see with people that are first starting to track, and I always have to remind my clients to track ahead of time. If you're watching this, you likely work a lot and you have a million things on your mind and you got to make a million decisions in the day anyways. Don't make your next meal one of them. If you're not going to track your whole day ahead of time, I recommend to track at least 2 meals ahead of time so this way you can take the guesswork out of your day. Number four applies especially today, and that is trying to get fancy with my nutrition. Trying all these high protein casseroles and recipes and whatnot, yeah, it's cool and it's fun and it's tasty, but if you don't have the basics down first, tracking this stuff down here and adding the ingredients and subtracting the ingredients, then you got to split it up with your family or get your kids or whatever. It's going to be really, really tough. It's going to be overwhelming, and you're not going to get an accurate measurement when you're first starting. And when you're first starting, you just want to go with the basics. Next one's going to be controversial, but it's measuring the proteins raw. Some people like to measure their protein raw. I like to measure my proteins cooked. Chicken, ground beef, steak, turkey, ground turkey, whatever. I like to measure it cooked because when I measured it raw and then try to enter it on MyFitnessPal and then try to separate the foods, it just became a headache for me. I'm sure somebody has a better formula, but I just like to measure all my proteins cooked. If you're going to measure raw consistently. If you're going to measure your protein cooked, measure cooked consistently. Number six is funny because I feel like everybody does this, and that is only tracking my good days. Meaning that if I went way over on my calories, or if I went way under on my macros or whatnot, I don't track it and I just scratch the day as if my body's not going to track it anyways. So track the good, the bad, the ugly. It's going to be a slap in the face at first, but it's going to teach you a lot about your body and how you react to different foods, calories, etc. Number seven, for those of you guys working at an office, is going to be a big one. It's not tracking the little snacks. So if you're at an office, if your kids are giving you food and you're not tracking these little snacks, like if it's around Halloween, you're not tracking those 100-calorie snacks, that shit adds up over time. This can easily make you feel like you're in a plateau when you're actually just not tracking everything. Number eight goes a little bit with what we spoke about earlier, and that's straying too far away from whole foods. So like eating mostly protein bars, protein chips, etc. What happens when you do that is you're not getting in a lot of fiber or micronutrients. And when that happens, you get hungry, tend to binge eat later, and then you're wondering why this whole macro thing isn't working. Go back to whole foods. You're going to get a lot more veggies in, fiber. You're going to get more volume in, so your stomach's going to feel more full, even though you're eating less food. Number nine is giving up too early. And I did this very early when I first started tracking my macros. I used to follow this dude. He's still around. His name is Timberwolf, and he used to eat the craziest things with his macros. So I went to Jack in the Box. I tried to get a jumbo jack with one bun or something like that, and I was like way over on my fats. I told you guys I was a fat kid. I was like way over on my fats, and then I was frustrated. I tried it again for another few days, and then I gave up too early, which is number nine right here. So do not give up too early. If you follow the things above, it'll be easy to follow number nine. Last but not least, I kind of alluded to this on number eight, but it's not getting enough fiber. Fiber is going to help keep you full. It's going to help keep you satiated. So this way you are not snacking and eating foods that you shouldn't at the end of the day. I recommend getting at least 14 grams of fiber per 100 pounds. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be trying to get at least 28 grams of fiber per day. If you've been trying to do this whole macro thing, make sure to follow for more content just like this, and let us know in the comments what is one thing that you have learned from tracking macros.